Hello, and welcome to myfinanceteacher.org. Check me out on the website, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're generally talking about commodities, cryptocurrencies, stock markets. And in this video, I want to talk about natural gas. So in front of you is a weekly chart of natural gas, going back all the way to 2012. And this is how I see intermediate cycles on natural gas. Generally, it seems that in the intermediate cycle lows, natural gas price is below the 20-week moving average, which is the blue line on the chart. And at the intermediate cycle tops, it's generally the case that natural gas price is above that 20-week moving average. That might be one of the ways to try to identify these intermediate cycles. So within this period, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cycles. 6.5 years of this range for this chart, or slightly under 6.5 years. That's actually 6 years and 4 months. Divided by 13 cycles gives us an intermediate cycle that lasts for about half a year. And here, on the bottom part of the chart, we see relative strength index, RSI. That's only a 7-week RSI. That also does seem to confirm that whenever RSI declines relatively deep, either into overbought or close to overbought territory, that also confirms our counts for the cycle lows. So the main point of this chart at the moment is the average duration of the cycles, again, which is around half a year. Now moving on to slightly shorter term chart, it seems that several weeks ago we have concluded with one of those intermediate cycles, which finished at the very early part of August. So looking at a slightly shorter term chart, if we have finished one of those intermediate cycles about a month ago, there might be some interesting investment opportunity in natural gas, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But before that, I want to warn you that natural gas is a very volatile asset. Looking at the end of last year, for example, just in several days over here between late October and early November 2018, we see natural gas price jumping up by nearly 70% in just a few days. And again, just a few days after that, over here in late November into early December, into second half of December, natural gas price falls in just about 1 month by 50 or 60%. So it is a very volatile asset. And if you are going to trade it, keep in mind that the risks are high and you'd better be careful with your capital. I don't recommend putting too much capital into natural gas. Again, looking at this slightly shorter term chart, it looks like there is some positive development in natural gas over the last several weeks. Unfortunately, I was preoccupied with precious metals to notice this development in natural gas. It would have been nice to notice it a little bit earlier and possibly put some money to work. But an interesting development is that all the way since the beginning of this year and even earlier, natural gas was trapped under its 50-day moving average. On this shorter term chart, the blue line will be the 50-day moving average, and RSI here is the 14-day RSI. So natural gas price has been trapped below it, and we see the price knocking on this resistance level so many times this year already. And of course, once you knock on some support or resistance level for multiple times, it has a tendency to weaken. So over the last couple of weeks, we see that this resistance zone has been weakened, and the price is breaking above that resistance zone. One could present the same argument for this downtrend line that natural gas has been, again, all the way since the beginning of this year and even earlier. Looking at more details of this chart, unfortunately, the 14-day RSI is already into overbought territory. So that is a negative on further potential in natural gas. However, I'm still quite interested in natural gas. I might take a small trade on natural gas because I think even though RSI is already into overbought territory, there might be a chance for some nice gains over the next few months. And here's the reason why. First of all, the intermediate cycle. If it was true that we have started a new intermediate cycle at the very beginning of August, which usually lasts for about half a year, we still have around a couple of months at least for this intermediate cycle to continue its advancing phase before it will have to roll over into the declining phase. Another reason why I'm kind of interested in natural gas is this commitment of traders report. And just a few weeks ago, here actually at the beginning of August, the long positions of commercials, which is the smart money, as opposed to the speculators, which are often called the dumb money, was as high as it's been in this observable history, at least on this chart, of several years. So the COT report was basically the most promising, the most bullish for natural gas within this history that I can see here going back to 2016. And even though since then we have already seen a rally in natural gas price of around 25%, that still might not be enough to completely eradicate that bullishness that we observed just several weeks ago. So although natural gas at the moment is at a critical resistance zone, we see this resistance zone based on lows that were in February, April of this year, and a high that we saw in July this year. So that resistance zone is somewhere around 255 down to around 248. Even though natural gas is at the moment on that resistance zone, I'm going to try with a really small position over here. After all, the heating season might start quite soon, and well, if winter is unusually cold, there is a really nice potential for natural gas to rally into December, let's say. And on the other hand, if natural gas bounces back down from that resistance zone up to some stop loss, of course, I might add a little bit more to my position, and I might give natural gas another chance at breaking that resistance zone as we come closer to that winter and as we come closer to that heating season. After all, if you look at COT, even at the moment, not at the very beginning of August, but even at the moment, the positions of, so to speak, smart traders is still larger than it was even in a late part of 2017, which is the second highest after the recent peak. So there still might be enough potential within this rally left to work off this sentiment. So I'm going to give it a chance and see how it goes. Of course, beyond this resistance zone where the natural gas price is at the moment, the next one that I see is formed by this low in January 2019 and this high in March, which is at about $2.8, $2.9. And that support zone is around 16% higher compared to current prices. So I'm going to give it a chance to get this 16% return and possibly even much higher returns if winter is somewhat cold or unusually cold. But remember, please, don't take it as an investment advice, especially on natural gas, since it's a very volatile asset and it's really easy to lose a lot on natural gas trade, as you see here in late 2018, early 2019. I'm just sharing my opinion with you guys, and if you appreciate it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so that you don't miss any of my videos where I give you a lot of value as much as I can, and good luck in your trades.